It's time for another episode of All Right Bet. All right, guys, welcome to Overtime. This Overtime, it's All Right Bet. This is the way we're going to be doing it this year. You're going to get the big pick six. You're going to get the guest picker and all that on the first hour of the show. You can watch that independently by itself, and then you can come right here for All Right Bet Overtime, and we're going to be giving you our picks like we do every week. Now, Andy, busy man doing a lot of work. He had some stuff going on earlier, so he's coming in now. He'll give us his big six picks right now up front on All Right Bet, and then we're going to get to our college and pro picks and hand you guys some money. But Andy, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm sorry I missed Jerron. Seemed awesome, and I hate missing a great guest. I don't mind missing the bad guests. It's the great ones.
Yeah, right.
I hate missing. So I'm excited. You know, football season is finally here. The long national nightmare is finally over. We're getting into the best months of the year, really. September, October are like my favorite two. So, and we have baseball. The hockey starts, basketball starts, and
everything's going.
And the main event, NFL, baby.
Yep. Everything is going, and I cannot wait, man. Now, let's jump on your big six picks here, and this is going to be a little different because you didn't get to hear anybody else's. So
I did. I don't know what anybody chose. I'm a little blind in this, and sometimes I like to be contrarian to people. So now I'm on my own island here. It's not comfortable.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is it's early in the season. Late in the season, you like to hear everybody else's picks because you got to adjust to try to cover the gap and stuff like that. But right now kind of doesn't matter. So let's jump right in for you. Game one, Colorado at Nebraska. Nebraska laying 7, 50.5 is the spread. What do you think? Are the over under? What do you think?
Gosh, you know what? The thing about that game is that the Nebraska quarterback, his name's Riola, whatever his name.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like
Lion center.
Yeah, exactly. It's his son. He looks like Mahomes, which is terrifying, right? It's only terrifying because I want to do the thing that I want to take the dog here, but I also can't stand this Colorado team generally. Like everyone knows this Colorado team is like, it's like a horse that sprints fast, right? It's I don't even know what that's called in horse racing anymore. I used to know when I watched horse racing more. When I can only go to the OTBs when I lived in Chicago.
I think you had it. I think it's a sprinter.
There we go. So I used to go to the OTBs a lot and spend some time there. Those are great days. Anyway, there's one right downtown. We have some drinks, smoke some cigarettes, run some horses. What a great that was a great life. No kids. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, so the Buffs feel like a sprinter horse a little bit. They get out quick, and then they end the season like 4-9. The other issue is this game is like Matt Rule, coach of Nebraska. I tend to like Matt Rule's team in the second year. He tends to move them along at a quick pace. Nebraska looked really good. Colorado did not as much. North Dakota State, though, is like kind of a legit, like you don't see, I give Deion credit, like scheduled North Dakota State. That's not like, Missouri scheduled Murray State, right? So like Deion at least went for the top of the line FCS kind of school. And that's a legit school. So it's a legit football school. So I'm probably going to shock you. What's the over under?
50.5.
Over. That's an over. I don't, Colorado's defense is horrific. It's just not good. It can't get a stop, right? That's an over for me. I also think Nebraska and that quarterback's going to put up points. But I am going to take Colorado. I'm going to take the 7. I would if it wasn't in the contest, I would tell you, do not bet this game.
No.
Do not stay away from this game. But I'll take Colorado. I just think I want the little better quarterback in Sanders, Travis Hunter. Deion will probably show up for this game. I don't see them getting blown out. I just don't think Nebraska can blow, a Power 5 school out. So I think the final score is like 35-31, 38-34, 38-31. It's going to be in that area. I do think Nebraska's going to win, but I just would feel more comfortable with the points in Colorado.
Okay. All right, man. 7 points for you, Colorado, and also taking the over. Our next game.
Wait, before you get to that, what did you guys take?
Jerron took Nebraska laying the points and the over. I also took Nebraska laying the points and the over, I believe.
All right. So I'm already behind the 8 ball. You guys teamed up. You guys are already doing the same stuff together. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to see how this goes.
He channeled it to me through Gordon when they worked together for their fantasy football lineup this week, because he had to collab with Gordon for the All-Star lineup this week.
Okay.
So
I just see what you guys are doing. I see
plausible
what you guys
deniability is what they call that, Andy. Plausible deniability. I never spoke to Duran about his picks.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask after each one to see how you guys are working together the best week. Okay.
Here we go. Next game. Texas at Michigan. Michigan +7. They're the home dog, getting 7 points, 44.5.
First off, if you want Michigan, you bet them now, right? Because that's going to go down. It probably already is down. If we really looked at it, it's probably at 6.5, 6. It's going to go down. 44.5. Like I think the over is to me the play, mainly because Michigan defensively is good. They're always good. Texas defensively is good. They can put points on the board, both teams. And if the final score is 24-21, that's an over. Yeah. So I just don't under, like, what do we think the final score is? If you're betting the under, what are you betting? Like 17-10, 20-17? Yeah. Like no. I just don't know how that's happening. So over for sure. And I'm taking Michigan. I'm on the under on both these teams. A season win total. I think Texas is going through some stuff. I also don't think Michigan is going to make the college football playoff, but I have to say I might be wrong about both. Right. I think both may get in there now. I'm starting to I'm getting wary of that bet of the under on Michigan and Texas, but I'm taking Michigan. I'm taking the points. I think they did just enough to beat Fresno State. I think you called it last week. They're not going to show too much. I think that's exactly what they did. While Fresno covered, Michigan still won by 20. Sneaky cover by Fresno, by the way. They got very lucky to cover that number.
Yeah, well, that's why we told you on the show, didn't I tell you? I said, take Michigan, tease it down. You'll be all set. Boom, hit it.
So I like Michigan, and I like the over. I do think Michigan. In fact, I would flat out play the money line dog here. Okay. I think you want to take. I think you're going to round robin. That's going to be Michigan's going to be a key part of probably a round robin for me. So
okay, Michigan the points and the over in that one for Andy.
Yep. What did you guys do? Don't try to get out of this.
Duran took Texas laying the 7 and went with the under. I took Texas laying the 7 and went with the over.
Oh my gosh! Of course, you guys are both on Texas. Why?
Listen. I explained it. I did. Michigan is in complete turnover. I'm not saying they're going to be bad, but I think Texas is primed to make their run right now. They got some transfers in to help with that offense. Quinn Ewers, he's a seasoned quarterback for them now. Defense plays a pretty good football. I just think that they're a little more ready in week 2 than Michigan. If this game is later in the year, let me take another crack at it. But right now, I think Texas to cover. And I jumped in on Texas, like I told you last week. They put that lineup a week and a half early, and it was Texas laying 3. I took that right away.
3, maybe 7. Yeah. No. Also, I don't ever want to bet on Sark in a big game. Personally,
that's fair.
There's no way. But while the Michigan coach Sharon Moore, I have no idea. And as far as I know, the last 3 games he coached last year, he went to Ohio State with a very good Michigan team. Yeah, and he won. So it tells me he might be.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach. They're gonna be good.
I'll take my chances betting on Moore right now than Sark in that that way.
Fair enough. Man.
Don't listen to Mikey or Duran, guys. Don't waste your money. Take the dog and take the money line.
Okay, Andy's all in on Michigan. We'll see this weekend. Hey, I love Michigan. I'm not going to be sad if they win. Let's go. Next game, Tennessee at North Carolina State. Now, NC State is the home dog, +7.5. The over-under here, 60.5. What do you think, buddy?
Over. This game's an over. It's not even. Look, it's one of those great college football games where we saw one team, in this case Tennessee, look really good. And Nico, who I remember last year, I was begging to get rid of that quarterback and put in Nico. I'm like, Nico fits with the coach's system, right? Milton.
Yeah. Very anti-Milton you were. Yeah.
Joe Milton, I was like, and we'll never – Joe Milton is garbage. Now, he can throw the ball 300 yards, sure. But he's not – that system for UT was not the right system for him, right, for Joe Milton. Yeah. Nico, yes, Heupel, Nico, this is going to be a lot of points all year. those Tennessee overs are going to get up higher than this. So you're going to take this, right? You're going to take this number as over.
Okay.
But a great game where you have the team that looked awesome and the team that didn't look awesome, right? That NC State was in a little bit of a fight in their game. And I don't remember who they played, but it was not anyone impressive. And it was like 17-14 and a half, or it was close. And then they ended up winning like 38-17 in some way, and they moved through the game. Look, so I like taking the team that looked bad in week 1. Okay. So I like the home team. You're going to give me a home dog, very similar to Michigan. You're a home dog of a touchdown, and Tennessee is going to put up points, but so will NC State. That score is going to be a close, high-scoring game. Love NC State here. Give them to me all day, especially if you're going to give me 7.5. Give them to me. NC State over.
Okay, I'll tell you where we went on that one. Jerron took Tennessee laying the points, and he went with the under. And I'm going to tell you right now, I went Tennessee laying the points, and I went under. NC State's known for playing defense at home. I don't think they're going to score a ton, and I could see this thing being like, 38-10, 38-14, 17. I don't see NC State putting up plus 20 on Tennessee. I just don't.
Tennessee's offense is great. Tennessee's defense is terrible, right?
Yeah, but NC State's offense ain't no good. It never is. Their defense,
Tennessee, but they'll get 20 points, 21 points. Do you think Tennessee's going to get 40? Then even if you do think that,
I think it's going to be right around there.
That's still an over.
Yeah,
that's still getting you over. So look, I love that over. Give me that over.
Okay.
Give me the Wolfpack. Wolfpack are going to shock the world. Another sweet round robin money line. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid early. Tennessee is all hype. It's all hype. So a good team. They're going to win 9-10 games, but they're going to trip up a few places. And this is a possible trip up spot on the road.
No, it's not a bad call. Not a bad call at all. There's a lot of money in that, and it's not that crazy. Let's move on to the NFL. You got the Ravens at your Chiefs. Now, this line is now down to 2.5. So we're playing it at 2.5.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes it tough.
That makes it much harder.
Yeah, it does. Ravens at Chiefs. Chiefs laying 2.5, over under 46.
I hate the over under because the real issue for me in this game is deciding which Chiefs team shows up, right? Generally, the Chiefs kind of slow roll their way into September, kind of get everything going. They have the last few years. Even that Lions game last year, the first game, I don't remember the score of the final score, but it was like 23-22.
1-1.
Yeah, 23-21, whatever. Yeah. Would have been an under. Here's my issue with this game. I do think the Chiefs are sleepy early, but I do think one of the teams that will make them not be sleepy early is the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
So I think if the Chiefs are going to wake up, this would be the time for the Chiefs to wake up, right, against the Ravens. I was like, because also next week they got the Bengals, right? So if they were playing, the Jags, right, in week 1, I'd probably take the Jags and the under, right? Because the Chiefs have not, in the Andy Reid last few years era, we've all said this, they don't cover at home. They don't play really well. The Chiefs kind of play better on the road. It's almost like they're a touring band who knows, once they get out to different cities, they kind of show up and they kind of all right, now we got to play a little bit. So look, I hate it. I hate this one. I'm going to go against what I'm going to say today. It might be different than Thursday when I put the money down. So right now I'm going to take the Ravens and I'm going to take the 2.5.
Okay. All right. Ravens 2.5. And where you at over under? What are you going to do
there? You know what? Change that. I'm already changing. I just thought about it. I don't want any Ravens money. Give me the Chiefs. They're going to win by a field goal. Give me if I lose with the Chiefs, I lose, right? That's where I'm at.
Yeah, right.
Give me the Chiefs. And give me the over. I just think the offense is going to be better. I also think the Ravens losing their defensive coordinator to Seattle is kind of important. And I think the Ravens will be able to keep up with the Chiefs some. Also, the Chiefs defense is good, but this Ravens offense has got a few new wrinkles to it with Henry. And so that's a great argument for the under. This is why this game is the hardest game, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll take the over, but
Okay.
I think the under is. I'll give me the Chiefs and give me the over. Final score like 27-24, something in that area.
Okay. Jerron also took the Chiefs, and he took the under. Okay.
Sure, it's a good bet.
I took the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens in this one, and I'm double checking. I took the under, so I'm on
Sure.
the under. Ravens
And
under.
probably you by Thursday, I'll be like, I'll see you on that under. Like
Yeah.
but right
No.
now, I think for this contest, I'll go over.
All right.
Tough.
Next one: Steelers Falcons. You got the Falcons laying 3 over under there 42.
We don't know anything about the Steelers, right? Ultimately, outside of we don't know what Russ is going to look like.
Yeah.
They got Arthur Smith, who happens to know this Falcons team, right? Because he coached them. He's the
Yep.
offensive coordinator. Now, the defense will be different, but the personnel will be mostly the same. I think there's a lot of ways to go about this game. Like final score could be 30-9 Atlanta. Final score could be 18-15. And final score could be, who knows, right? I just don't know how this game's going to roll. But I am going to take the Falcons. I'm going to take the -3. I think they at least do the 3, right? So even if it's a push, I just much rather have my money on Atlanta in this case. I would definitely be on Atlanta money line for sure. I'm on the under for the Steelers for the year. This first year, I think Tomlin's going to go under, which is terrifying bet to bet under 500 on Tomlin because the guy's awesome. So, and what did you say the over under was?
42.
It's a tough spot. It's tough. It's a great number. This is why Vegas is so good. I'm going to take the over. I think Pittsburgh gets some points. I do think Atlanta scores. I think their offense is going to come out looking good. So, even if it's like 28-21, I'm going to take the Falcons and the over.
Falcons and the over. Okay.
Yeah.
Jerron and I both were on Falcons and the under.
Yeah. Right, fair. Yeah. I just don't think Atlanta's defense is going to shut out Pittsburgh. I don't think Atlanta's defense is going to stop anybody. And I do think Pittsburgh is going to get 10 to 17 points. So then my point is, what's Atlanta getting? 21-24? It's probably 28. Then I just feel I would rather, if I'm going to lose, that final score of that game is going to be 2017, right?
Yep.
Ultimately. And if you want Atlanta and the under, and I just don't trust that either team will play a perfect game with no turnovers and nothing weird. And so turnovers are what makes the over happen more in pro football.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, give me Atlanta, give me the over.
All right, man. The Atlanta and the over for Andy. Okay, last game here in the NFL. We got the Rams at the Lions. This is a tough one because they're putting the hook on us here, man. The Lions are laying 3.5. Over under is 50.5.
I kind of think if you think the Lions are going to be the 1 seed, you have to take the Lions here. The last game we saw them play was a great game. Remember that at halftime, that thing was. Remember, I had the under at that game. And I think you had the over in that game. And that at halftime, it was like 2017 or whatever. It was very high. And they were cruising to the over. And then nobody scored. Then the under hit. There's maybe 3 points in the second half. If I kind of think Detroit has a really good shot to be the 1 seed. Them are the Eagles, in my opinion. So I do think if they are going to be that 1 seed, they got to get this game. It's just almost a must for Detroit, in my opinion. If they lose this game, then it's a mess. It's a little bit of a mess because then you got the Packers talk, you got the Rams, the Niners, the Eagles. It's whatever. The other thing I want to say about the Lions before this game is last year, opening game, they went to Kansas City, won that game, right? Won that game. Now they lost the next week against Seattle, I believe, but that game last year was a huge game to win not because it was just on the road against the defending champions, but because it put them in the spotlight, right? And I always say then they played the next 15 games as a team that beat the Chiefs, and they were in the spotlight. So my point is, these kind of games today or on Sunday night, the Rams game, it feels like a big game. Like you're thinking first time Lions are coming in. This is a big game. It's not. They played 15 last year like that, where they were in the national spotlight. People were recognizing them. So I think that's why I like the Lions, and that's why I like the over.
All right.
I think they cover the 3.5. I also think the Rams are a little beat up. They have some offensive line injuries. So and Puka's still hurt. So I want to lean under, but I'm going to go over in Lions.
All right,
I think it goes like 35-24. I just think it gets big.
All right. And he's on the record, man. Lions and the over. Jerron took the Rams and the over. I took the Lions and the over. So there we go. We got to have more than a hook on that one and be ready to go. Now, really quickly, you guys tuning in to All Right Bet for the first time here. I just want to give you a quick rundown, and I'm going to do this quickly, Andy. I know we're up against time, but I want to let you guys know this isn't just fooling around. We handed out a lot of money last weekend, and I'm going to give you a few of them. Cue the music. There we go, right? So here's some games we handed out last week. We gave you UNC to cover, and Andy gave you the under in that UNC game. There it was, all right? We gave you North Dakota State, Colorado. We gave you the spread. That came in for sure, 100%. We also gave you the tees in the Fresno State Michigan game that I already referenced. Tees Michigan down, that hits. We gave you Georgia to cover on Clemson, that hit. We gave you Georgia to get the tees around, that hit. We gave you Penn State to roll West Virginia, that hit for us. We gave you the Miami pick. Andy was on taking them outright. I was on Florida with the points. That didn't work out for me, but Andy gave you Miami. If you listen to him, I was all over that Eastern Michigan UMass game. They put a beating on UMass out there. That one came in. Also, I was on that Ohio plus the points against Syracuse. That one came in. We got UTSA covering Kennesaw State. That came in. We have Northwestern Miami of Ohio. We gave you that one. That one came in. And there's still a few more on you. I mean, I could just keep going, so I will. The Texas A&M and Notre Dame, hit that one on the under. Took Notre Dame and the points. That one hits. We gave you Arizona State, the tees down over Wyoming. They blew Wyoming out. We had the Arizona State outright. And the USC LSU game, Andy was all over it and gave you USC to win that game. So that's the rundown from last week, Andy. And all I had to say about that is
Ka-ching. Yeah, man. I missed a few. I have to admit, I was on UMass. That was a bad one. Luckily, I said it here, but I didn't bet it. I got to be honest with you.
Well,
I didn't get anything in, mainly because I forgot about it. Like those 9 a.m. East Coast games. I was worried about Penn State and a few others. I was like, oh, I missed it. And then when I saw it was like 14-0, I was like, woof, what a deal. Glad I missed.
Yeah. If there was anything we missed on, we missed close. We only had 2 duds this week. We gave out about 23, 24 picks in total, and we hit at about 14 to 15. So that's pretty good, guys. Now, we did miss on the MSU. We did miss on MSU. Now, I told you guys to stay away from that damn game, but Andy he said, get on MSU. We missed on that one. We landed taking some bets on MSU. We traded some texts that did not go well.
Remember, 16-3.
Oh, I forgot.
16-3. Sparty first and goal to 5. They're going to score 23-3, and that game is over.
Yeah,
should have covered. He throws an interception. The guy runs it to the Sparty 40, and I texted you. They're not covering now.
Nope,
right?
They're not.
The cover's over, right? They get that score. They're going to cover, and they move forward. But hey, that's how it works a little bit, coin flip.
I gave you guys a dud as well. I told you that Troy-Nevada game was a trap game. I told you take Troy. They're going to win that game. Nevada bombed them. I mean,
Nevada's new coach, kind of sneaky.
They're looking pretty decent. I think they're primed to get busted this week, though. I would tell you that. Yeah. Let's run down some
the one I missed on. I think the one I missed on.
Oh, yeah.
Clemson. I liked Clemson a lot. I like Clemson at 14. I like Clemson at 11 and 12. I just thought they could hang. But you know what it really did more than anything? It put me on notice. Like, it's going to be very hard for me in college football to get away from Georgia. Mainly, I do have a bet on Georgia at 3-1 to win the national title. But I'm saying, like, when Georgia plays teams, their spreads are always going to be high. So just get ready every week. I'm going to be against Georgia. Not because I think Georgia's bad. It's just the number is always so high.
It's so high.
And it's like even Clemson, who I thought was going to win the ACC. I'm not sure I think that anymore with Miami around.
It's going to be Miami all day. Florida State looked like trash too.
Right. So I actually thought Clemson was going to win the ACC. Anyway, whoever's playing Georgia, I will always look at the number. Sometimes I'll go Georgia. Most of the time I'll go whoever's playing Georgia. It's just like, it's kind of like the Panthers in the NFL last year. I was always taking the Panthers, not because I thought the Panthers were good, just mainly because the Panthers were always like 7 to 10 point dogs. And I'm like, it's hard for me to resist those things.
Yeah, no, it is. The track record is there for sure. Let's jump into some NCAA games we like this week. I know we're up against time a little bit here, but we got some time to get into a few. I'm going to give you a 3-teamer that I like. I like Georgia Tech. I like them laying the 3 points at Syracuse. Give me that game. Put that with Oregon laying the 19.5 to Boise State. They better be able to beat Boise State by 20. If y'all think they're national championship contenders, Big Ten contenders, they should win this game by 20. The reason I'm taking that one, 19.5. It ain't 20. Give me that one, and let's put it with Utah laying 14 to Baylor. That's a 3-team parlay that I'm locked in on.
I like, I do like Oregon in that game. I got them at like 18.5. I think whatever it is. I think I will say Oregon, the team looked the worst of the top 10 teams. They beat Idaho by like 14 or whatever. Yeah. Boise State's really good. Boise State wins this game, by the way. That's
They're a
G5.
playoff contender.
That's going to get in the playoffs if they do pretty well the rest of the year, if they win this game. So Boise State's for real. But I think Oregon rights the ship on that for sure. So I like Oregon in that game. I'm with you. I tell you a team I like a lot is Sam Houston State. They go to UCF. Sam Houston State, they were 10-point dog, won outright last week. They're about 21 on the road. Just kind of think Sam Houston State's sneaky good. They beat Rice last week. I read over done that. So I like Sam Houston State. By the way, on that Boise Oregon game, give me the over 61.5.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one to get right there. Let me make sure to put that one down because that is a good one there, taking the over in that game. I'll give you one more that I was going to add to that. If you want to make that a 4-teamer, a game that I really, really, really like this weekend, man. Give me Auburn laying 13.5 at home to Cal. I mean, Cal struggled with UC Davis last week.
Yeah. It's hard for me not to want to get on Cal because I'm not sure how good Auburn is, right? Because they beat some terrible FCS team. I don't even know who they beat, like 73.
Yeah.
So if it's hard,
Alabama A&M, I think. Yeah,
there you go. It's hard to judge for me what Auburn is ultimately. So and a team like Cal, like generally, I think it's probably bad, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm. If I was probably, to be honest with you, I'm probably not gonna bet that game. But if I was, I tend to want to lean to the 14. Give me Cal on the 14. But I don't know. I don't know now. Okay. But it's a good sure. Right. Why not? All if you're going to do it. Here's a game I like on the over. Another over game. Arkansas, Oklahoma State.
Okay.
62.5. Look, Arkansas. Petrino is calling plays at Arkansas, right? And the old Arkansas would have not beaten Arkansas Pine Bluff 70-0. Sam Pittman, the Arkansas coach, generally likes to not embarrass his in-state rivals. Like he generally like all these coaches, a lot of coaches like tend to take their foot off the gas when it's 50-0. But when Arkansas kept scoring and ran it up to 70, that kind of gives you the hint that Petrino is at the wheel on Arkansas's offense. Like he's running the offense. It's not.
I believe they were playing Arkansas Pine Bluff too. HBCU. You got to have a dickhead at the helm to run it up like that on that team,
right? Because Pittman generally doesn't want to run it up, especially on a team in the state. Like, look, it doesn't make any sense for him to do it because he like some of these kids may transfer to Arkansas. Who knows? He doesn't want to embarrass them. But Petrino is definitely a different animal. Petrino that's what he's doing here. When Pittman gets fired at the end of the year, guess who's going to take over Arkansas?
Yeah,
Bobby Petrino. So Petrino is putting his case out there to be when Pittman gets fired. I am the guy again. Come back. And Arkansas is going to score, and they're going to score a lot unless the defense can stop them. I just don't think Oklahoma State's the kind of defense that's going to stop them. I don't think Arkansas is going to beat Oklahoma State, but I do think there's going to be a lot of points. 62.5 is not enough for me. I like the over in that game.
Yeah. You like Petrino, the motorcycle full of co-eds, and keep it running on down the highway.
Yep. I do.
All right, man. I
also like Oklahoma State in that game. To be honest with you, it's 7. Give me the 7, Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna run you a 3-team dog right here. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to take all these teams, 3-team dog right here to win.
Okay.
All right. Pitt is getting 2 points at Cincinnati. Give me Pitt to win that game outright.
I like Cincinnati, by the way. I like Cincinnati. I'll be
Okay.
on the other side.
Georgia Southern at Nevada. Nevada's laying 2. Now, we just got done talking about Nevada. I think they're feeling themselves. Georgia Southern played that tough Boise State team you talked about last week, and the final score there was something like 52-47 or something. This is a team that, just like last year, they only won 6 or 7 games, but I'll be damned if they don't put up almost 50 points every time. I think this is the letdown week for Nevada. Give me Georgia Southern on the upset right there. And
I like Nevada. Let me get this out here. I like the other side. I like Nevada at home. First home game, brand new coach. It's hard to pass on Nevada. Give me Nevada.
Okay. Yep. That's why this is my dog. This is why this is my dog. You know what I mean? This is my dog 3-team parlay here. And the last one I'm going to take, give me Washington State, a home dog to Texas Tech. Give me Washington State to win the game.
How much? What's the spread on that one?
1.5.
That's like a pick 'em. Okay.
It's a tough place to play up there. Give me Wazoo at home, man.
I like that. Why not? Right? Like, sure.
Yeah, I'm playing those 3 on a money line teaser. We'll see what comes. I mean, the pay on that's going to be well if it hits, but we'll see. Some tough games though. Some tough games.
Yeah, they're all good. I think Cincy IC is now -2. Give me Cincy on that one, by the way. I'll give you a couple. You want me kind of unload my college football chamber? So this is, let's be all above board here. This is we're taping this a little earlier, so less time here for me.
I mentioned that earlier. We do this on Tuesdays.
Right, I'm gonna give you a few that I kind of like. So, first one up is give me Syracuse. Give me Syracuse at home +3 against Georgia Tech. Look, Georgia Tech beat Florida State, and we were like, wow, maybe they're for real. The other side can be true too. Maybe Florida State is not very good after losing to BC as well at home. So that tells me that Georgia Tech, that victory is going down but Vegas is expecting us to keep betting Georgia Tech because they beat Florida State in Ireland. So give me the home team. Give me a home dog at 3. Look, I'm not saying Syracuse is great. I'm saying these teams are the same. I'm saying these teams are identical, and you're going to give me points at home for the home team. That's the kind of team I like.
You know where I land on that. I'm going to take the team that can pound the football on the ground and play defense. I'm going to side with them.
I just think it's a coin flip, right? And I'd rather give me the dog in the coin flip, especially the home dog.
Fair enough, man.
Bowling Green, 34.5, Penn State. Look, Bowling Green's not bad, and I kind of think they're going to win the MAC. And look, I'm not saying they're going to win and beat Penn State, but I am saying the final score is going to be something like 30-55, right? 55-30. You're like, there's going to be an over, and 35.5 is like a lot of points to cover against a very good Bowling Green team. So that's my initial gut on that game is to move that way. By the way, we're talking Texas, Michigan. I see it right now up to 7.5. So that tells me
it's creeping up.
Money's coming in. And if you like Michigan, which I do,
just wait.
Just hold out a few days, guys. Just hold out a few days. It's going to come your way. It's going to come your way.
That thing gets to 10.
In fact, it will never. If it touches 10, it won't be there long.
No,
it won't be there long.
Should peak out around 8.5, 9.5 if it keeps trending. But
yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I like Nevada. We already talked about it a little bit. Yeah. Northwestern at home to pick them against Duke. Neither team's good. We just saw Duke beat Elon 26-3. Northwestern won. Who cares? They're both bad, but it's a pick 'em at home. I give me Northwestern.
Give me Northwestern. Miami of Ohio, a much tougher opponent than Elam.
Yeah, Elon, for sure. As I'm unloading the chamber, Kentucky -8, South Carolina. Look, I love this. If you want to tease Kentucky at home, please do it. Tease them down to 2.
Yeah,
I think Kentucky covers the 8. I just think I'll take Stoops generally.
Sure,
I'll see Kentucky at home. I think that stands out to me as like, wow, what a nice little spread for Kentucky. South Carolina barely won, and I'm not sure. No, I did say that's the team to be wary of. The team to look bad week 1. But maybe in college football a little less so, and don't trust South Carolina there. Let me know if you got one. I got a couple more. Iowa State +3 at Iowa. Look, I like Iowa. I like Iowa State. I think Iowa State is going to be the surprise Big 12 team, has a chance to win and get into the playoff. I kind of like Iowa too. These two teams don't like each other. Last year, Iowa State was coming off that gambling thing. I think Iowa beat them. Look, Iowa State got better as the season went along. I'm going to ride with those Iowa State kids. Remember this, and I'm going to go Iowa State. I'm going to take the points.
That's a game I'm just staying away from. When you're going to give me an ugly game and Iowa's going to try to choke it out playing defense and the spread is a field goal, I'm not going anywhere near it. It's got to get to 2.5 for me to even think about it.
I think it's gonna. I do think it'll move up a little bit. Let's see. I like KU, who I generally would never bet just because my whole life I would never bet on KU.
Yeah,
but they play Illinois, who I don't like. I lost last week in Illinois. I'll bet against them again. I'm gonna take KU minus like 5.5. I just think they'll outscore them. I like just too many points.
All right. I might be on Illinois on that. I'm gonna wait and see where that line moves though.
I just don't like the Illinois team, and they're gonna end up taking my money probably all year, but I don't care. Like I just don't think they're very good. Two teams, two teams that look good the previous week that I got big spreads on them. Utah State at USC. Look, I think I said this last week, I love betting on I called him Lane on Lincoln when he is a dog. Lincoln, like he's kind of like Tomlin, like great coach, but when his team is supposed to be good, I like to fade Lincoln. When his team's supposed to win like 7 games, I like to back Lincoln. I think Lincoln's a good coach. Gave out last week Miller Moss, great quarterback name, has Heisman a long shot. This is what Lincoln Riley does. He is a great quarterback coach. He's a great coach in this sort of games. But they are like 28.5 point favorites against Utah State. No. I'm not dropping 28.5 on Miller Moss and USC. If they were like a 4-point dog, yes, against LSU, 100%. But there's no way I'm taking USC at 28.5. I'm taking Utah State there. The other one, by the way, is Northern Illinois goes to Notre Dame, I believe. Northern Illinois is like 29.5.
Yeah.
Give me that. It's like, look, Notre Dame's got schedules always a bear. They got it kind of like get going. I love that Notre Dame coach. I think that dude is awesome.
Good coach.
I think that team is going to be good. But I like the 29.5. Like Notre Dame, the coach is not going to blow teams out. He's not going to embarrass teams.
Yeah.
That Notre Dame coach is not going to beat teams 50-0.
No,
he's going to beat them 41-20. That's just the way
he's not. He's not.
So give me NIU. Give me Northern Illinois.
All right. I'm going to give you one more that I like.
Okay.
And I'm going back to Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan is going to Washington. The spread is 27.5. Washington, not great last week against a not very good football team. Mm-hmm. They're not a very good football team this year. I'm not saying Eastern's going to go out there and turn it into a barn burner, but you're telling me 27, 28 points? I'll take Eastern Michigan again. I don't see Washington beating anybody by 28 points this whole season. Sure. So I'm going to be on Eastern, especially on a teaser. I'm going to tease that thing up to like 34 points. Give me that all day long. I do have one super teaser. I always do this. I'm doing one super teaser for college football right here. Now, guys, pay attention. This is a 7-point teaser, not 6. There's a 7-point teaser, and here's the rundown. Pitt plus 10 at Cincy. Mizzou minus 24 to Buffalo. Auburn minus 6.5 to Cal. Oklahoma minus 22.5 to Houston. Houston bad. Got hammered last week by UNLV. Utah minus 7 to Baylor. Oregon minus 12.5 to Boise State. Bama minus the 24 to USF, University of South Florida. Bad. And I'm going to take that USC game, but I'm teasing it down 7 to 21.5. That's
you like a big favorites in that one.
Yeah, but the way when you're teasing them, it's like, my God, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna give me Oregon laying 12, okay, you know what I mean? You're gonna give me, Utah laying 7 to Baylor. I'm on it. And again, guys, that's an 8-teamer at a 7-point teaser. That's $5 on that thing. It's gonna hit for $95 if it comes in, and it ain't crazy.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of good faves. Sure. Those. How many 7-team teaser? How many teams are in
8.
Buddy, that's never going to hit. But
that's why it's a little fun $5 thing.
Yeah, that's so hard.
$95.
It's hard to hit 3-teamers. You're adding 5 more teams. But why not?
Right?
Teaser. as long as you're not betting those games, it's like you're like, look, this is the only games I'm betting these teams right here. Like if you, unless you're not wasting $10 more on.
Oh no,
three
this
other
is a
teams,
little $5 bet here. I always
Yeah.
do this for fun every week. I'll play an 8-teamer. And I
Yeah.
think last year, I think I sent you some pictures. I think I hit twice.
Yeah,
So
they're
at
hard.
the end
They're
of the season, it's $10 for 200.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I will tell you, I do like Alabama at minus 31 or whatever they
Yeah,
are. I think
yeah.
Alabama continues to roll. Look, underrated. That coach is going to score. Alabama keeps moving along, right? And
Yep.
they're going to be serious. Hey, one more game I want to mention in my notes. Man, sure, why not on that teaser? It's fun.
Sure.
Give me App State at Clemson. Give me App State plus 17,
Okay.
plus 18. I
Plus
just think
17.
that number's going to keep going up.
Okay.
And so, like, whatever that number ends at, give me App State.
All right.
For me, it's got to be
you.
17 or above. Like if it hits 16, I become less interested, but I think it goes up.
All right. I'm going to give you an outside the box one here, and then we're going to move to the NFL. But outside the box here, guys, if you want to take a shot at winning some money, I'm going to give you 3 FBS teams that lost games this week that they should have won and really need to grab a big win. And they're playing some FCS opponents this week. Now, you won't get a line on these games when FBS goes FCS. You won't get a line until day of, maybe day before. But I'm telling you right now, LSU, Texas A&M, and UNLV won big. So I'm putting them in this group because they're going to just roll again. Give me those 3 teams. They're all playing FCS opponents. Grab them day before. I don't care what the spread is on those 3 teams. Take them to cover on their FCS opponents. I'm going to play that on a 3-team parlay, and I will probably play that day of.
Which teams again? UNLV, who else?
LSU, Texas A&M. They're going to look to hang something on somebody because they both got rocked in their first game when they were supposed to win. And then UNLV is just a really high-powered offense, and they're one of those
I love UNLV
schools that to get in the playoff, you got to keep rolling.
They're going to win that. They're going to be in the conference final of whatever, MWC or whatever. I love them. Barry Odom, former Missouri coach, has found a nice little niche there. The only one I worry about, to be honest, I like both 2 of them, is Texas A&M. I can't say I was filled with confidence at their offense.
No, but against I forget who they're playing. I should have wrote that down, and I didn't.
Yeah, but they'll be fine. Elko will have them ready. He'll have them ready.
Yeah, it'll probably be like a 37-point spread or something, and they'll cover it because they need to.
Hey, can I have one written down that you may like? I just want to maybe
do it. Let's do it.
ULM plus 12.5.
Okay.
I think the guy. I like this setup. I like the 12.5.
Yeah, we did that on the Warhawk report, man. I was like, oh yeah.
Did you 100%. Take ULM?
I said, this is a homer. We're taking it, man. 12.5. UAB and angry Trent Dilfer. We'll see.
Well, that's my thing. Is that I just don't think UAB is that good. Like if Dilfer gets up on him, though, he's going to try to put it on him. Yeah. But I think ULM kind of hangs in there. I think Dilfer is a little fool's gold. I'm not. I like ULM. I know I missed the Warhawk report. I just wanted to get my
go back there and watch it because we had some highlights of some kick-ass plays that the long snapper had during the game, man.
Oh, I bet he was great.
It was great. It was fantastic, but we're definitely going to do that. All right, guys, let's get into the NFL here. It's a tough week for NFL, so we're not going to do our traditional every single game, because we'll have you here too long for all that, but we're going to hit a few. Now, I've got a list of probably most of them. I'm going to go rapid fire. You tell me if you like it or don't, and if you want to add one, add it. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm all over New Orleans laying 4 to Carolina. You're probably on the other side.
Correct. I don't, no doubt. Like, why wouldn't I tease that up? Tease Carolina 10.5. Don't think the Saints are very good. Like, why do we like Carr?
Yeah, you tease that to 10 for sure.
For sure. I don't get it. I don't get why everybody just loves the New Orleans
I don't, but they'll play some defense, and Carolina is going to be abysmal. So
I'll take the Carolina coach over New Orleans. Go.
Also, there's just a lot of too many dangerous games this week. I'm going to have to lean to some less dangerous games. I mean, it's a lot of good matchups this week. Listen, the Texans are laying 2.5 at Indy. I might put $100 on this. I'm not even kidding. What is everybody trying to sell me with Indianapolis? They were tough last year when Gardner Minshew came in and took over that offense. They were competitive because of their defense, and they played pretty well down the stretch. Played pretty well. You're selling me that they're going to come in better this year because they're bringing in a kid who started 9 games in college, started 4 games in the pros, and got knocked out hurt, and they're going to be so good that they're less than a field goal to the Texans. I might put $100 on Texas in this one.
I think the argument is Indianapolis got the best line, one of the best offensive lines. as long as Richardson kind of stays in the pocket and doesn't get himself murdered running,
Which
right?
he's
You got a
not gonna
great
do.
running back. Also, the regression is a big area of interest with the Texans, right?
Sure.
They won some coin flip games last year. They maybe don't win these coin flip games like the last game when they beat the Colts. Coin flip game,
Yeah. Well,
So I think
this quarterback
that's the
play is.
argument.
You're
Here's
gonna
my
have to
problem
tell
though
me.
with it, and I'm also going to be on the Texans because the Colts secondary is bad. It's really bad. It was bad last year. They did nothing to improve it, and the one power area for the Texans that they have, where Indianapolis, like, they're good defensive line. Colts got a good offensive line. Okay, but the one area where the Texans have them a little bit is Stroud, right? Stroud, Nico, Diggs, Tank, Mixon, like those guys can get out, stretch the field.
Yeah.
I also am with you on the Texans. I will ride with Texans.
Yeah. I'm also going to take the Bengals laying 8.5 to New Orleans to New England. You know what I mean? They're at home, and like we pointed out before, they do not have the easiest of schedule this year. They can't afford to be toying around in game one. They need to put this thing away, get some guys on the bench. Give me the Bengals laying the 8.5.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would tease them down for sure. Would be my
For
thought.
sure.
But I would say the Bengals coach and the Bengals in the Joe Burrow era, slow starts. Be very careful, especially and we don't know if Chase is playing. We don't know yet. I imagine he'll play, but if he doesn't, look, Mayo is not Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick kept that team together with defense, right? Ultimately, and that's what made the Pats. That's the only good thing they did.
Yep.
But can they cover 8.5? Yeah, maybe. It's going to be everybody's survivor pick. We're all going to be on the Bengals. I get it. We're all going to bet against Pats all year. Game one, though, I'm going to stay away, but I lean where you're leaning. But I wouldn't be shocked if the final score was like 28-21.
Yeah, this is not what I'm going to be heavy on other than teasing, but I probably will mix it in somewhere on one parlay because it's pretty good pay when you're late 8.5 points.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I'm going to get on the bandwagon here. I'm going to take the Bears laying 4 to the Titans in game one. Okay. I just don't know what to expect with the Titans, man. Your identity is running the ball and defense. I don't know who you got doing those things this year. So I don't know.
I get it. But I'm going to argue the other side of it. I'm not saying I'm betting on this one, but I'm going to argue rookie quarterback, a coach who is he good? I would argue no. I think he's the worst coach in that division.
I mean,
so I would say, like, I'll probably take the dog. I'm going to be on the Titans. I also think the Titans have. Look, Levis is not as good as Caleb Williams, but Levis does have a little more pro experience right now, right? So, and it won't matter for a little while. In a little while, it won't matter. But in game one, it's going to matter a little bit. Pollard, Spears, we'll see if DeAndre plays. They got Snead from the Chiefs. Like, I don't know, man. I'm going to take the Titans and the 4. I hope it keeps going up. I hope everybody keeps betting the Bears and it gets me up to like 5.
It gives you a better money line. Yep.
So give me the Titans.
All right, next game, man. The Bolts laying 3 to the Raiders. Now, this is normally a stay away game. I don't know, stay away, but if I had to pick this one, just give me the Bolts. I think the Raiders are not going to be good. I know the Bolts are in a rebuild, but I think Harbaugh knows what to do in that. You're going to run the ball. You're slow this thing down. Herbert's going to make the throws he needs to make, which we know he can. That's going to frustrate Minshew and the Raiders offense. They're not going to be out there a ton. I just see the Raiders really wheels coming off the bus this year. Give me the Bolts in the opener.
I like the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders, look, what am I getting out of Herbert, who can't move in the pocket? Like, he's not going to run. He's just going to sit in the pocket.
That's what he wants him to do.
Right. He's just going to sit there. And then we can't even extend to a first down. Also, the Raiders defense got Crosby, but then they got Wilkinson to play. And Crosby won't get double teamed. Right? Like, I like Max Crosby for Defensive Player of the Year. Right?
He's badass.
So that dude is going to eat a little more. And Herbert is going to get eaten, I think, a little bit with Max Crosby. So, look, who am I betting on the Chargers? Josh Palmer?
Joe Alt.
Sure, but
to handle Crosby.
Who's catching the ball? Alt, Ladd McConkey, Palmer, Ladd McConkey, then Dobbins, then J.K. Dobbins, and the Gus Bus is going to just roll through the Raiders. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to roll. But
I'm going to take the 3. I'm not saying this is going to be a great game. I'm also on the under on the Charger season, so I'm going to have to eat this a little early.
This is stay away.
Game, their schedule is pretty light. So, and I think the Raiders may be one of the shocker teams. I like Raiders Titans as my kind of 2 shocker AFC teams. One of them is going to hit, in my opinion, and I win 7 games. So that's why I'm taking both the Titans and the Raiders.
Okay, I'm going to stay away from it probably altogether.
For sure.
Like I said.
Look, I should have said that in the beginning. Definitely stay away from that game.
You can stay away from that game. Yeah. Here's another one that I'm pretty high on. I think I might do a 2-team parlay. Take the Texans laying 2.5 to Indy. Give me the Browns laying 2.5 to the Cowboys.
Man,
why not? Why not? Sure, it's less than a field goal. It's at home. They're in Cleveland. Everybody's forgotten about the Browns, man. And I'm like, the best O-line in football, probably next to the Lions. They're going to run the football. Best defense in the league. Jets, Browns. It's toss up.
But you're going to take the 2.5. They're favored. The Browns are favored.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Browns laying the 2.5.
Right. Sure. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't trust Watson. But
no,
I get it. It's hard to trust the Cowboys either. I don't trust McCarthy on the road. Like,
give me the home team with the better defense.
Yeah, it's not, but they're both deep. I like the under a lot in this game. By the way.
Oh yeah, under's beautiful in this game.
I think you tease the Cowboys up, and then I think you probably just walk away. Tease the Cowboys like 8.5, and then just be like, "Look, that's where it is," and I'm not touching any more of this game.
Yeah. Okay.
But I hear you. You might, I'm probably leaning. I might. What I would do maybe is like tease the Cowboys up to 3. You buy a half point, make them a field goal dog, and then maybe I'd ride with the Cowboys.
Maybe.
If I'm going to bet 2.5, I'd probably take the Browns like you are.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns. I'm probably going to put this with Texas and maybe slide a little more than $5 on it. Here's another one we're going to be on the same page with. Jets +4 at the Niners. Jump on this thing right now. It ain't going up. It's going to go down to 3 because they're going to want to try to get that push money, get some money back on the Niners. Niners are banged up. Jets are just chomping at the bit to get going. Great defense. We're going to see Rodgers for more than 4 plays, I think. Listen, give me the Jets +4 all day in this one.
Yep. I don't have anything to add except, yes, this is the time you want to play San Francisco. Teams are finally kind of slowly signing. People are hurt. You want to play them early. It's a great spot for the Jets. If they win this game, then their next 4 or 5 games are pretty easy. So yes, just take the Jets.
I'm going to give you a 3-team long shot dog, money line dog here that I'm going to take. I already put it in. $5. Put it in already. Giants to beat the Vikings at home.
Can we, as we do this, can I go one by one and tell you what
I like? Giants to beat the Vikes at home.
Love the Giants this week. In fact, I thought you would say Texans and Giants instead of Texans and Browns. I like the Giants a lot. +1.5.
Sure.
I'm on the Giants for sure. They're going to be in my round robin parlay. Yes.
Yep. I'm going to put that with Ravens money line over Kansas City.
Sure. Love it.
And to kick this thing up for a good payoff, I'm gonna throw the Hail Mary here, and I'm gonna take the Arizona Cardinals to beat Buffalo.
Love it.
All right.
I love what you're doing. You're talking my language. I like Arizona at the 6. I like the over in that game. That's a great. You're basically doing a round robin type deal there. I like that.
Yep. All right, cool. And I'm playing 1 4-team teaser, guys. I'm going to give you a 4-team teaser. You do what you will with all the games we gave you. There's plenty to be teased here, but I'm going to take this teaser. Give me Arizona +12 at Buffalo. Okay. Yes. +12 at Buffalo all day. Give me the Jags +9 at Miami. Okay.
Yes.
I think that's a good.
I think it's only going to go up too.
Yeah. Give me the Jags +9 at Miami. Give me the Giants plus the touchdown and the hook against the Vikings, right? 7.5. That's a big deal.
Yes.
And give me the Bengals teased down to -2.5 against New England.
Yeah, I love it. You're not crossing any lines. You're using the lines properly. I've never been more proud of you in my entire life. You didn't take I thought we were gonna. I was just gonna blow my top in week 1 when you were gonna tell me I got the Bears +2.5, and I'd be like, there's no value in that number at +2.5.
There was one game I was thinking of crossing the line with, and if I was going to do it, it was going to be Browns Cowboys. Then you give me the Browns at 3.5. You get the hook and the field goal, and it's going to be a field goal game.
Just take the Cowboys at that point and get them up to 8.5, 9. That's the same theory, but they're not bad. They won they've won the most games outside of the Chiefs for the last 4 years in the NFL regular season. It's not a bad football team. But it's so get 5 extra points. You get the same thing.
I'll tell you one game that might play in. But you're more sold on Indy. I am not sold on this Indy team. I mean, I'm gonna have to see Richardson convert some 3rd and 8s regularly and drive them down the field. Listen, I'm not dogging the kid. He ain't got no experience, and he's kind of like what you pointed out with Milton. He could throw the ball 100 miles. Okay,
Right.
okay, this is the NFL, man. Listen, Houston laying 2.5. I flipped that the other way. Give me the 3.5. But the only reason I wouldn't do that is because it's not worth the money. Just take him laying the 2.5.
Right. Just take the 2.5.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
It's not worth the money.
Right. Yeah,
but that's where I'm at NFL. It's again, first week here. A lot of matchups are stayaways. There's a couple of games I'm going to play, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think generally in this week 1 or 2 of the NFL and college football, you're like, let's just kind of see where we're at, right? Let's see what teams show up, what teams don't show up. It doesn't have to get too crazy here early.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that is All Right Bet. That's the overtime. Those are your picks. Those are your money. If you tuned in just for that, hey, man, put down that bet. Have some fun. Don't overextend yourself. Have some brass monkeys. Get rolling and have some fun weekend of football, college, and pro this weekend. Annie, I'm dialed up. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great, man. I'm happy to be back. I'm sorry I missed Duran, but here we go.
Yeah, next week we're going to have us another guest on the show. Follow that fantasy football. Let's go, man. The season is a kicker. We'll see you guys next time. It's time for another episode of All Right Bet.